In this episode.
A back, sack, and crack.
My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack.
Stay tuned.
What's good, YouTube? My name's VoOdoOleW, and today I am playing the Stanley Parable. Look at this little computer over here. It's like an infinite thing. It's blowing my mind. One of my favourite YouTubers, Yub, link in the description, started playing this game, and it made me realise I've never played this game, and I've never seen anything about this game. I've just heard the word, the Stanley Parable. So I was like, instead of watching someone else play it, I'll make my own series about it. So, let's go.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Oh.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job.
Oh.
Stanley was happy.
Well, good for Stanley.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell.
I didn't
But
mean
the one
to...
thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
What's the what? I literally did... Oh. Okay. Get out of this room.
All
Hello.
of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Save the planet, you know what I'm saying? Or shall we? Oh, I can't turn it off. Okay. Okay. Right then, I seem to have already made a slight error in following my instructions. And got locked 420. Oh, and got locked into the opening room. Silly old me. So where is this?
Stanley came to a set of two open doors. He entered the door on his left.
Okay, now this is obviously a game with multiple choice, but I'm going to follow my instructions for the first time. Blimey, that's bright.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Do not alter without consulting the whiteboard. When I push the E button, it makes a clicking noise. Where was I going? The broom closet?
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Okay. Gotta say, the sensitivity leaves a bit to be desired.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
So there's two freaking choices already. So there's at least a fair few different things. Wait, what's this? Executive bathroom. Okay. So as I said, for the first one, because I'm probably going to have to play this more than once,
Stepping into his manager's office,
I'll follow the
Stanley
instructions.
was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Wait, what?
Huh? Where is the keypad?
What device? Oh, for fuck's sake, this device.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Okie dokie. In we go. This is a bit portalish. And down we go. To where? Who knows?
Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar.
I do
It was
actually.
a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Okay. Well, let's see what the answer to this question
Stanley
may
walked
be.
straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
There's a third option. But no, this time I'm gonna follow the narrator's narration.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this
Blimey.
place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Yes I do. Cameras.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
It's pretty impressively made, I gotta say. This game looks beautiful.
This mind control facility,
Right, what
it
was I?
too horrible to believe
427?
it couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
Was I 427?
Was this the only reason
Yeah,
he
it
was
was.
happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable.
Never.
Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
I would I? How exactly would one do such a thing? Oh. This gigantic red button, maybe? Maybe not. Okay. This? Wait, what? Wait a minute. No. Should I? No, I'm not gonna bother. There's clearly more to push, but I'm gonna do that on another one. On another run of this game.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel.
I mean, like, you've been doing this whole time.
It will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
There's another choice, I bet ya.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Beat the game. Well. But so, wait, let me get this straight. There was the first option of the two doors. There was the option of escape or mind control. There's the option to turn the mind control off or leave it on. There's the option to put the code in before I went in the mind control room. There's so many options. Ugh, if each one leads to a branching path, then there might be more than one video on this bloody game. What's this? Am I just back at the start? Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
This
Perhaps
time,
he simply missed a memo.
What I'm gonna do is just head straight to here.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Let's do this.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
The employee lounge. What's the employee lounge?
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
No, I'm going.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Ah, shit. Okay. So where does that lead, do you think? God damn.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Where the hell am I now? Okay.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
How? I can't believe I just wanted to see if I could jump off that. Like, and it's kind of led me to something I didn't expect it to lead me to.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Well, obviously I'm going to have to go for the blue one.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Don't test me on this, bro. I'm a Taurus.
I still don't think we're
I'm very
communicating
stubborn.
properly. Stanley walked... All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what.
I just wanted to go against the grain, bro.
New design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
See, but now I want to go for this door. Ah, God, there's so many options.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Let's go for free.
Of course. A 3. Really? Maybe next time we can get you to form an actual opinion, you know? Any level of critical thinking or engagement with your surroundings? Does that sound good? Think we can do that? Yes? Wonderful. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look. Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again,
Oh, is that what that
honest
was?
answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Oh my God, I think he's getting annoyed at me. I can't believe I jumped off that crane.
This game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
That noise is so annoying. I'm growing my hair out. Pretty long now. Pretty long. Okay, so in order to get this ending, you actually have to play this game for 4 hours. And I've currently been going for about, well, less than 15 minutes. And I'm gonna have to say no. Burn, you little shit.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain? Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Yeah, so I'm not playing that for 4 hours. That's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous amount of time. Like, but you do get a secret ending if you do it, but 4 hours. That's a long time. Oh, fuck
Well,
me.
Stanley, is this any better? At last, the one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough? Well, I'll say this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house. This will go here, no, here, and then... Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course, and just to finish it all off, yes, it's complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art
It's
and
beautiful.
feel ashamed at
Absolutely
your
beautiful.
own inadequacy. Ah, but you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable. Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything. Yes, yes, yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
Actually has the Minecraft music in it as well. I'm actually a fan of Minecraft, so, well, you know, somewhat.
Oh my, it looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
No, have you? Well, I may not have got the best ending for playing 4 hours of shit.
I'm looking for something more narrow and
At least we
linear.
got something.
Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
God damn it. It is Portal.
Yes! I don't even know what this game is, but I love it. You, trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is.
Right, it's Portal, old boy. Because I'm pretty sure this game started off as a source mod, didn't it?
Ooh, it's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte.
So, I wonder
Genius.
how many endings lead to this, or if I'd have taken the right
Actually,
door
you know what? I think that's
and then
plenty. I really don't care much
done
to see you
different
stumble
things, like
through
stayed on that
these
crane.
games, and I highly doubt you're any wiser for...
Oh my. What the fuck? Oh. Hello. I've ended up somewhere. Somewhere strange. What? Whoa, there's so many corridors. Which one am I supposed to go? 423. 424. 427. Isn't that my number? What the hell is going on now?
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Is this another waiting test? And here we are back at the start once more.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office? Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No, 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 no. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort...
Motherfucker, I pushed that button for like 15 minutes. That's no problem to
I
me.
have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it.
I'm a very stubborn man.
Certainly 50 clicks.
I have a feeling I'm going to try and get that other ending at some point. But 4 hours is a long time.
Hang on, I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
417. There.
Great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
Oh, for God's sake. Ah.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
Okay. Leading me around a bloody crazy time.
Now, back to door number 437.
That wasn't 10 clicks.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine?
Where's that? Oh.
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere. Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk. Yes, this is great. You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
Okay.
We've almost got it. Now the copy machine, do that one again.
Sounds like he's having a great time, doesn't he? Almost too good of a time, if you know what I'm saying.
Finish it off, Stanley. 5 clicks on door 430. Yes! We did it! Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago, you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
What was I thinking indeed? Okay, let's continue on. This time what I'm going to do is... What am I going to do? I'm going to take the lift again.
When Stanley came
Which
to
was
a set
this
of 2
way.
open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
And I'm going to stay on the
Perhaps he
lift
wanted to
instead of
stop
jump
by the
off.
employee lounge.
Oh shit, I forgot about this choice. But no, we'll go this way.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Whoops. I'm going to write a list of what I need to do.
Someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
Down the stairs.
Someone you've
Escape
forgotten
sign.
about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Who is her,
This
exactly?
is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can... Oh, no, you can't... Did you just unplug the phone?
I
That
did.
wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually
Well, let's just saw it in the
chose
background.
incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
I'm actually going to get a video. Oh my god.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Stephen has a choice. He could spend years helping improve the quality of life for citizens of impoverished third world nations. Or he could systematically set fire to every orphan living in a 30-kilometer radius of his house. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Had to go do something. Okay. So what am I supposed to be doing? Am I going this way? I take it. Is it sending me back onto the path?
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying.
Oh.
Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That
Okay,
story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse.
Here we go.
Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Okay. Because there's still a couple more things I want to try. Because I'm sure this game has got a lot of endings. But there's a couple of things I want to try. That was one of them. The other one would be answer the phone.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
Take the door on the left.
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that?
Oh,
Quickly,
fuck.
hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
I wanna stay here. So I might have to... but this time I can explore the other options, such as the stairs.
Oh, it's ruined.
Oh,
I
shit.
can't believe after everything we talked about that you...
Okay.
My story.
This is
you
good.
destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that?
For the
What did you
banter,
think was
obviously.
so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever. Reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Ooh. And there we go. You're gonna start me up again in my office, make it nice and easy for me? Oh my god, it's not finished.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility.
I've already seen it.
You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would
That's
have
something
been
else
so
I gotta do.
perfect.
Not
I worked
destroy the
so
underground
hard on
facility.
it. I tried so hard. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
You know I'm gonna do it, bro.
No! Why
Oh,
did you do
shit.
that? Quickly, hurry.
Oh, bollocks.
Behave exactly as
Okay,
Stanley
okay,
would.
okay, I'll
That
go
means
left.
left.
Okay. I wonder if now I could try and nip the other ending in the bud, which would be...
Yet
Thank
there was
God.
not a single person
Okay.
here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase,
What?
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ah, I think I've got to finish the game. It's taken away all the choices. So there's one of the choices taken away. Oh, the bathroom isn't called a bathroom anymore. I was curious about whether I could get in there, and I have a feeling I can now. This is different.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled,
Please speak
Stanley
clearly
wondered
into
in
this video.
disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it.
What? What is he doing to that panda?
Behind this door lay all the answers to his questions.
What
And
does that
beyond
say?
all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out.
Code's different
Stanley
too.
had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Night Shark 115? I can't speak. Night
I'm
Shark
sorry, is there a problem?
115.
You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
I've tried. I'm trying. It's not working, narrator.
Okay, fine. You're not going to do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
Oh my god.
the door on his left. Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice.
Oh,
I need you to walk through the door.
okay.
Are you listening to
So
me?
that's an ending there.
You hear me?
That's what happens if you unplug the phone.
Stanley.
This time, we'll
Constantly
answer the
needed
phone.
support and She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do...
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about...
Your day. Gotcha.
Savage.
Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Okay.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley. Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry
That's
for him,
life.
except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
To spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
This is very meta, isn't it?
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be?
Oh, shit.
In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
Please die.
And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Oh, there we go. There's another ending for you, I guess. Let's hope it's not really long. There we go. Fucking hell, thank God. Because while the endings are cool, some of them are so long, it's just like, ugh. I need to restart this game.
Rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
Okay, this time we're going to go right, and we're going to go through the door on the left.
The first open door on his left.
See what happens.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Right, there's the meeting room, so there's nothing down there that I haven't seen before. Oh my God, how many endings does this game have?
Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go,
Don't.
From here, it's, left.
Okay, good, good.
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
Actually made me jump.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Okay. Go down here, shall we? Oh, bugger me.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, hmm? Okay, from the top.
Well, that was a nice, easy one.
When Stanley... Wait.
What?
No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure.
Oh.
Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Okay. Oh my god. Why does this game have so many choices? Oh, what is this? Where the fuck?
Need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Is it gonna do something? The box is still at the bottom.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Just gonna try some doors just to see if anything's different. Has that always been like that? The layout of this room does seem a bit different.
Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
God damn it. These endings are... Oh, hello.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so
I did.
Good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win.
I sneeze in anger.
Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Oh my god. Wait, what?
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable adventure line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Oh no. Because I can go more than one direction. Oh, thank God. Right, good. Let's check some doors. You never know. You never fucking know, do you, in this game?
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct. Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Blimey. I like it.
Cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Okay. Strange Narrator Man. Look at
Wait,
this.
what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Man, these endings are crazy, considering like how simple the game is when you just follow the narrator's instruction.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Well, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Right, is that actually the end? Oh my god. Shut up.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be?
We're going in a
Go
circle.
wild.
Narrator.
Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley.
Oh.
I'm ready for it.
Are you?
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms.
Oh, the way they trademarked.
Just don't acknowledge it. We should be fine.
It was trademarked as well. Okay. See, I always have the feeling though that if I turn around and start going backwards, there's going to be a different ending there as well. Which is just...
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute.
No, fuck yourself.
So I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
If both of these doors open, thank God. Good.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime...
Blimey. I've been playing this game for quite some time now. I didn't quite expect to be going for this long. About to hit the 2-hour mark. I've kind of forgotten what the other options were.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Oh, so this is the start again.
Stanley
We are
decided
not
to go to the meeting.
going through the right door
Perhaps
again.
He had simply missed a memo. Find an answer. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
A different option. This way we go.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself,
I'm going in
maybe
circles.
I am crazy.
I reckon it's sending me
All
in
of my
circles until he's
co-workers
finished
blinking
talking.
mysteriously out of existence in a single
Yep.
moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Oh, we are floating.
He imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley. He found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Jesus, this game, man. And I'm not even...
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
What?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life.
Fucking hell, this ending is deep.
So it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Fucking hell. Oh, there's another one done. What did I do? I went downstairs. Right.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go
I've
to
got
the meeting room.
two more in
Perhaps he
mind.
had simply missed a memo.
One thing I want to try, which is to get into the executive bathroom. And the other one is to
Stanley
take
came to a set
the
of
escape
two
route.
open doors. He
And the
entered
third
door
one
on
is to
his
turn
head.
on the mind control device. Actually, shit, forgot about that one.
Stepping...
What? Was I supposed to do that? What? To be rich is it a crime to commit crimes? Isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one. I can't believe that worked. I've been thinking about that this whole time. Is this it? Ah, what? Okay. Well, what about through here? No? Oh my god, I can't believe I got into the executive bathroom. But there's nothing here. That's the problem. I can't take a shit or anything now. Well, what if I go back this way? Stairs, okay. Maybe I can continue on into the boss's office and... Oh shit. Oh shit. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna have to begin the game again. But there you go. That's how you get into the executive bathroom. What? Which phone's ringing?
Hello. This is a recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages. If at any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
Okay.
And could ever hope to guess it. 2-8. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
I'm sorry.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy. so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I'll see you later.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Oh. Well, the hall
The door
is
behind him was
pretty
not
long.
shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
It's not happening.
Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Am I dead? Did I die? Or am I still alive? Only time will tell.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Okay.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Who knows, love? Who knows? What's
When
this?
every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
The set of two doors, which conveys the first concrete piece of the Stanley Parable's design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it, in the exploration of the contradiction of the room posed. The pacing of this opening section was important to get right. The corridor had been moved and altered to make the player reach two doors in a good time. The blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the two doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections had been added and altered throughout development, though the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. Oh my god, this is pretty fucking cool. Filing cabinets, office computers, the office. Can't open any of these? No, okay. The selection and sound used throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of a keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. Awesome. And there's the credits. Oh no. Don't do this to me. Oh, what? Wait, is this actually just stuff for me to look at? This is awesome, but narration outtakes. Right, well, I've had a good look around and all of the things. There's quite a lot of things to look at, so probably.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. how they both wish to be free.
Okay.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
Blimey.
Listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now, and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time
Whew. Who built that? Just to squash things constantly when you're not even there. This is it. This is the final ending I'm going to go for. I haven't looked anything up for any of these endings, except I just googled how many times you have to push the button with the baby, and it said you have to play it for 4 hours, and I was like, right, no, fuck that. To be fair, I found quite a few endings. So I'm pretty chuffed. Okay, there is something that I want to check.
Controls labeled with emotions.
There's a button up there.
Or sad, or content. Walking, eating,
1,
working. All of it monitored and
2,
commanded from this
3, 4. Okay. It didn't do. Oh! Wait, there is no 0. Oh, I panicked then. I thought that was a code. I've tried to push all these buttons, but it doesn't seem to do anything, which is really irritated me, because I've been thinking about that for ages.
And when at last he found the source of the... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though. This version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what?
What was that all about?
I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
Ah, blue.
Oh, dear me. What's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
And that's it. That's the last ending I can think of. If it is actually over. You know what this game's like. I mean, how long have I been playing this now? 2 hours and 30 minutes. Pretty solid attempt. Now, we're at the two doors.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. He entered the door on his own.
Well, there you go. That's my attempt at the Stanley Parable. This video has probably been very long. When I started this video off, I was just like, I'll just play it. I'll just see what it's like. And then I kind of got addicted to like trying all the different choice lines and stuff. I've been playing for 2.5 hours. I didn't use any guides. I just googled how many times you could push that button because I didn't want to be there all day for no reason. And it is, you have to play it for 4 hours. And I'm not going to do that. But yeah, I think I did pretty good. I'm going to have a Google after this, see if there is any more endings that I've missed. Editing me can let you know if there was. But yeah, how you found this video, thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it. If you've enjoyed this video, leave a like down below just to let me know. If you're new, click on the Voodoo Dude, join the Voodoo crew. I've been VoOdoOleW, and for now, peace out.